wind is sharp, the horizon wide, and beneath you hums a machine with a story older than many of today's riders. The Yamaha XT500, a motorcycle that once carved its name into the rugged landscapes of Dakar, into the history books of adventure riding, and into the hearts of those who believe the journey matters more than the destination. Now in 2026, that legend has returned. Not as a mere echo of the past, but as a living, breathing evolution, a machine that carries the soul of the original while embracing the future with open arms. The first XT500 was introduced in the mid-1970s, a time when motorcycles were raw, simple, and unfiltered. Riders didn't have traction control, riding modes, or TFT dashboards. What they had was trust in the reliability of their machines, trust in the torque of a single thumping cylinder, and trust in themselves to handle whatever lay beyond the next curve or the next dune. That's the spirit Yamaha set out to capture again, nearly 5 decades later. At the heart of the 2026 XT500 lies a new interpretation of the classic single-cylinder, 4-stroke engine, a 499cc masterpiece tuned not for sheer aggression, but for balance, character, and endurance. Every twist of the throttle delivers a wave of predictable, usable torque, giving the rider the confidence to climb steep dirt trails, cruise open highways, or weave through crowded city streets. Yamaha's engineers have modernized this power plant with electronic fuel injection and precision mapping, ensuring clean, consistent performance from the lowest revs to the top end, while keeping fuel consumption impressively low for long-distance travel. The exhaust note is worth pausing for. It doesn't scream, it doesn't whine. It speaks with a deep, confident thump that stirs the senses. It's the kind of sound you don't just hear, but feel in your chest. A sound that invites you to keep riding just a little farther. Take just one more turn. Chase just one more horizon before the day ends. The chassis of the new XT500 is a careful blend of strength and agility. Yamaha's double cradle steel frame pays homage to the durability of the original while incorporating modern weight-saving techniques. The geometry is designed for stability on high-speed stretches, yet nimble handling on tight technical trails. Long-travel telescopic forks at the front and a monoshock system at the rear soak up bumps, ruts, and rocks with ease, keeping the ride composed and the rider in control. Its wheels, a 21-inch front and an 18-inch rear, remain true to the XT500's off-road heritage. They're wrapped in dual-purpose tires that bite confidently into loose dirt, yet roll smoothly over asphalt. Braking power has been brought firmly into the 21st century with hydraulic discs front and rear, and optional ABS for those who demand an extra layer of security in unpredictable terrain. The design tells a story of ride, not to distract from it. The LCD instrument cluster provides only what you need: speed, trip distance, gear position, and fuel level. No gimmicks, no clutter. A discrete USB charging port is ready for your navigation device or phone. Selectable riding modes adapt throttle response and traction for either paved roads or loose surfaces, while an assist and slipper clutch reduces effort at the lever and smooths downshifts when the terrain gets challenging. But the XT500 is more than its spec sheet. It's about the feeling it gives you the moment you swing a leg over. The instant connection between rider and machine. The seat is narrow at the front, allowing easy reach to the ground, yet broad enough towards the back to provide support on long rides. The handlebars are positioned for a natural stance, whether seated or standing, essential for off-road control. The foot pegs are wide and grippy, ready for muddy boots after a day in the wild. Take it onto a dirt trail, and you'll feel the XT500's balance immediately. The weight is centralized, the throttle is responsive but never abrupt, and the suspension seems to read the terrain just as you do. Over rocks, through shallow streams, down twisting fire roads, the XT500 keeps its composure, letting you focus on the line ahead rather than wrestling with the bike beneath you. On the open road, it transforms into a relaxed companion. The engine hums steadily, the vibrations are tamed without losing that single-cylinder character, and the seat and ergonomics encourage mile after mile of comfortable travel. Wind it up on a back road, and it reveals a playful side, diving confidently into corners and pulling out with a satisfying punch of torque. This dual nature, the ability to feel equally at home on a remote trail and a long highway, is what defines the 2026 XT500. It's not a stripped-down dirt bike that struggles on pavement, nor a road-biased machine that fears the dirt. It's the middle path, the all-rounder, the motorcycle that says yes to whatever the day brings. And then there's the heritage factor. Ride it into a gathering of seasoned riders, and you'll see their eyes light up. They remember the original XT500, maybe they owned one, maybe they dreamed of it. They'll tell you about the Dakar Rally, about how the XT500 helped define what adventure riding could be. They'll notice how Yamaha has kept the proportions, the stance, the attitude, and they'll respect how it's been updated without losing its soul. For younger riders, the XT500 represents something rare in a market flooded with electronics-heavy machines. Simplicity. Not simplicity in performance, but in purpose. Everything about this bike is aimed at making you a better rider, not doing the riding for you. It rewards skill, patience, and curiosity. It invites exploration not just of landscapes, but of your own limits. In 2026, Yamaha could have built a flashy, high-tech showcase wearing the XT500 badge. Instead, they built something better, a motorcycle that feels alive in your hands, that encourages you to take the long way home, that makes you look for the unpaved road on the map, a machine that can carry you through city traffic in the morning and over mountain passes by afternoon. As the sun dips low and the shadows stretch across the ground, the XT500 waits patiently. It doesn't ask for much: a tank of fuel, a willing rider, and the promise of open space ahead. And in return, it offers what so few machines can: freedom. Freedom from the constant noise of modern life. Freedom to go where the road ends. Freedom to ride not because you have to, but because you want to. The Yamaha XT500 has always been about adventure. Not just the epic, far-flung kind you see in glossy magazines, but the personal adventures that happen every time you choose to keep riding when you could have stopped. With the 2026 model, Yamaha has honored its history while building a motorcycle ready for the demands of today's world. Strong, simple, and endlessly capable, it's a machine that feels as timeless as the landscapes it's meant to explore. This is more than a motorcycle. This is the rebirth of a legend. This is the 2026 Yamaha XT500.